All right, esteemed photographers. This is hopefully going to be a short video about some back-end stuff with Lightroom, how to organize your hard drives, what to do with new hard drives, and stuff like that. Because I've been getting a lot of questions about things, and some people have been having some issues, so we'll just go over this. The first thing I want to start out with is if you have a new hard drive. Now, obviously, I'm on a Mac, so on a PC it's going to be different, but on a Mac, what you're going to want to do is obviously unbox your hard drive, plug it in, and then it's going to mount itself over here on the right-hand side or left-hand side or however you have your desktop set up. The first thing you need to do is go into the utilities function and go into the disk utility. Okay. And what's going to happen here is it's going to list out all of your hard drives, and mine have to spin up because some of them are sleeping evidently. So we'll give it a second here. All right, come on. Okay, there we go. And over here you see all of my different hard drives listed that I have and everything else. Okay, so you're basically gonna plug that hard drive in, and you're gonna see it over here on the left hand side. But there's not going to be anything below it. Like, because mine are named, it tells me like the serial number or something on the hard drive, and then it tells me the name of my drive. Okay, so you're gonna go over and find the actual drive that's not named yet. You're gonna click on it, and then you're going to go up to erase. And I'm obviously not going to do this because I don't want to screw with my drives, but you're going to erase it, and then it's going to ask you, do you want to make it a backup drive or any of this other crap? You're going to tell it no, and you're going to then pick what the format of the drive is. Now, if you have a new computer, a new Mac, the new operating system should only have one option. I'm not entirely sure what that formatting system is called, but it's some new kind of thing that's supposed to be good. I'm not entirely sure about it. Mine are formatted as, let's see, I don't know that it's going to tell me here. Okay. No, it doesn't tell me, but they're like journaled or something like that. OSX extended journaled, I think is what it said. And, so you can just select that. There's a bunch of other options in there. But I think it's what it's called is OSX extended journaled is what I'm using, but also my operating system is a little bit older because I don't always upgrade my operating system because of compatibility issues with different things. So anyway, you're going to format it or erase it, do all that stuff, and then it should do it pretty quickly if it's a new drive. And you're also going to name it. So like I have my drives named starting at the beginning of the year, and then they go sequentially through the year. So this is my 2018 number 2 main drive. And then I'll have a 2018 number 2 backup drive. And then obviously I have my number 1 drive, my number 1 backup. I'll have a number 3 drive, a number 3 backup, so on. And this way I know what the number of the drive is. I mean, you could date it or whatever you want to do to help you keep track of what time of the year it came from, what year it came from, all that good stuff. And I wouldn't make the name too long because it just won't let you put a huge long name on there. So something simple, and then you can click OK, and it's going to do its thing. It'll erase it, format it, and then it's going to unmount it and remount it over here, and you'll see it show up with the name on it. And that's what you'll do with a new hard drive. Like I said, on a PC, it's going to be different. So obviously you're going to have to figure that out for yourself over there, but there should also be some similar functions where you can format and name and do all that sort of good stuff. So let's close out of this. Okay, so now as far as what's in my hard drive and how I organize things on the back end, I have a folder for each wedding session, whatever I'm shooting. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to have the name of the couple normally, and then the date I shot it. And like this one is weird. It says 8, 10, 11, 18. And that's because I shot a rehearsal dinner as well. So I put the date of the rehearsal dinner first, then the date of the wedding, then my year. So you can do it however you want to do it. There's no right or wrong way to kind of name your folders and everything, as long as it makes sense in your head and you can keep track of it. And then inside of each of these folders, this is my master folder for this couple. Okay, so this is my main drive, it's my master folder. Inside this folder, I have, first of all, just because of the way that her name is Alyssa, so it shows up first. This is the Lightroom catalog folder. Okay, so in here I have my catalog file, I have my preview file, and this is obviously storing my Lightroom catalog for this particular wedding. Okay, blog images, Facebook images, final JPEGs, and then I have my two RAW folders here, my rehearsal RAWs and my wedding RAWs. And obviously inside there, I have my RAW files from the actual camera, so to speak. And what you can do is when you get done with the shoot, you want to make the folder like this, and then basically create your RAW folders. So I have all my RAW folders from the wedding in there, and these are from each of the cameras, etc. So I'm going to stick a card in my computer now, and it'll show you. I'm doing this in the dark, so it's hard to see. I'm going to show you basically what's going to happen here. So stuck a card in. There it is, D750. Stupid thing. I'm going to open this up. Okay, and when I open this, it's going to show me the two RAW folders from the camera. So all you need to do is select those, copy them, and paste them into the folder. I'm not going to do it because this is from another wedding. My cards are just sitting here. I haven't shot anything since my last wedding, so this is just an example. But you don't want to drag and drop. You want to copy and paste. Okay, so on a Mac, it's Command-C to copy, Command-V to paste. Okay, or you can right-click and do it over here, and it'll tell you, where is it? Copy, obviously over here, paste. Okay, and that's how you're going to download your RAW files to the actual hard drive. Okay, and you're going to do that for each one of your cards, let them go through, blah, 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 until it's done. From there, what you're going to want to do is open Lightroom and make a new catalog for that particular session or wedding. Okay, and the reason why you want to operate off of a different catalog or separate catalogs for each event is a couple reasons. First of all, it makes Lightroom run a lot faster because you only have one particular thing in there, one wedding, one engagement, one family shoot, whatever you're shooting. And it's not going to clog Lightroom up with a ton of photos that are old from other things or whatever. Okay, so max you're going to have, I don't know how many photos people take at weddings, but say 10,000 photos in a catalog if you have a huge wedding or something. Okay, but probably way less most of the time. Okay, for film shooters, another thing you might have here is just a folder for your film scans. When you get your scans from the lab, you're going to download them from wherever, Dropbox or however they do it on their FTP site. And you can just basically copy and paste that in here so that you have that organized under your master folder here. Okay, so back to Lightroom. I'm going to go over to a different session here and open up my catalog for this particular engagement session, and then we can go through some things in Lightroom. Oh, okay. So it told me I couldn't open it because I had a different version of Lightroom open editing a client's wedding last. So I have to go here, and obviously you can see I'm running Lightroom CC, Lightroom CC Classic, Lightroom 5, etc. Because of all my different things for all of my clients, I have to run 3 different versions because people use different versions of Lightroom. So this is obviously in the newest one. So now it will open just fine. And we're going to let it work here. And for some reason, this new version of Lightroom does some stupid thing with the updating presets and XMPs and all this other garbage, which, I don't know, this right here. So we're going to let this run here for a second because it's killing me. Okay. All right. Now, I am in Lightroom. Obviously, I have all of the images here from the session. Um, I do my culling in Lightroom. You may not necessarily. So if you do it in Photo Mechanic or whatever, then you're obviously going to have a folder or something that you bring into Lightroom in order to import your photos or whatever. But just a quick tip for people that do want to cull in Lightroom. When you go up here, basically what will happen is after you create your new catalog, okay, for the new session, and to do that, basically just open any catalog and just go to new catalog, and it's going to give you an option of where to put it. And all I do is when I make a new catalog, I'm going to just go over here to the left side, find my drive, go to the correct folder, open it up, and I name it the same thing that basically my folder's name. So whatever the wedding is, Kelly and Eric wedding. Okay. And then in there, Kelly and Eric wedding, there's my Lightroom folder with my catalog in it. So obviously I'm not going to make a new catalog right now. You guys can figure that out, but it's very straightforward. Okay. So you just are going to put that catalog in the folder, the master folder. Super simple. Okay. Let's cancel out of this. When you go to import photos, let's go up here. Obviously, you're going to go over here, find the corresponding folder, corresponding raw folder. You click that, all the raws show up. You hit import. Over here on the right-hand side, if you want to cull in Lightroom, I would recommend building either standard or one-to-one previews. The previews are basically going to be what Lightroom uses to bring the photo up and render it quickly when you're doing things in Lightroom. So if you have it on, say, minimal, Lightroom could seem like it's working slower because basically it's having to generate the full preview every time it moves to a new photo. So with the one-to-one previews, you're going to have instantaneous access to your photos without them kind of getting bogged down loading previews and all that other good stuff. If you're using an editor or someone to outsource, if you've done your culling already and you're importing into Lightroom, you can build your smart previews right away. And that's what some of my clients do. So there's an option to do that. And then also down here, you can apply metadata settings, develop settings. Like if you want to throw on a base preset to start out with, you can do that. It'll do it right when you import. Okay, so then you would obviously hit import and it's going to do its thing. While all this is happening, one of the first things that you want to do here, in order to essentially give yourself a good chance at backing everything up, besides having a backup hard drive of everything, is go up here to catalog settings. Okay, and then under the metadata tab, automatically write changes into XMP. Click it. Okay, so I have it clicked. It's got to be clicked every time you make a catalog. It's dumb. I don't know why they don't just have it as an option that you can turn on all the time and leave it on, whatever, but just get in the habit of doing it. And what this is going to do is Lightroom is going to, besides storing all of your edits, your flags, your tags, your stars, your colors, everything that you've done in the Lightroom catalog file, okay, it's going to store the edits in a sidecar file next to the raw files. Okay, so for instance, let's go up here and look at this. So I don't know what this raw file is, 5301. I don't know that I'll be able to find this one. But if I go back over to the Lauren and Matt engagement master folder, go into my raw folder, and I'm just going to pick any folder here, whatever. It doesn't matter. All right, here's all my raws. All right, next to the .nef Nikon raw file is a exact same file name .xmp. Okay, that is my XMP file for that raw file. All right, and what this XMP file does is store everything that I've done in Lightroom with that particular file. Doesn't matter if it's anything, whatever you've done, metadata stuff, flags, tags, stars, all that stuff, edits, it's all there. And what that does is basically if you were to lose a catalog, okay, it gets corrupted, or whatever else, the XMP files will allow you to make a new catalog re-import the photos, and then all of the stuff that you've done up to the point where you had the issue will show back up. Okay, so it's a safeguard in case your catalog goes bad or something like that. Say you forgot to back it up, you lost your catalog, etc. So this is a crucial thing to do each and every time you make a new catalog. And the other reason to use separate catalogs is because if you have one catalog with 100,000 photos in it from everything, and you lose that catalog and it's not backed up and your XMPs aren't on, you're totally effed. And I mean totally effed. Nothing will be there anymore. You will have lost everything you've done ever. So if you use separate catalogs, you can kind of safeguard against massive failures like that. So that's that. Let's see what else we got. If for people that want to cull in Lightroom, a quick tip is if you import everything, if you turn caps lock on, and then bring a image up like this, what you can do is essentially X is a no good, and it'll gray it out like that. P is a keeper, and it will automatically advance like this, as fast as you want to go, doing no good, keep, no good, keep, etc. So obviously I'm going to X all of these out again because they're not meaning to be flagged. Okay, so that is kind of the rundown on hard drives, the filing system in Lightroom, the XMPs, all that sort of good stuff. And I think that about does it for what I wanted to talk about. If anybody has questions, message me or whatever, I can help.